CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight in Washington, where Donald Trump's top trade representative sat before a U.S. Senate committee questioned over his boss's latest tariff threat. With more on today's developments, here's Judy Trin.
Senator Wyden.
The general in Donald Trump's trade war, Jamieson Greer, was grilled on why he was using a 1930 law to put new 50% tariffs on Canada.
Nobody, not even Herbert Hoover, used this provision before, but Donald Trump dug up a zombie law to make things even more expensive for Americans.
The U.S. trade representative justified the actions.
We're fighting against a ban on American liquor on shelves. We're fighting against hard caps on export of American cars. So we've never banned Canadian products. We've never done that kind of thing, but we're fighting against caps on American cheese.
The senators responded with a barrage of examples of the pain Trump's policies were causing. They say last year, costs for the average American family went up by $1,700 and tourism plunged.
Number one, our tourism is down about 40%. A lot of that has to do with the rhetoric that the president has used, and I don't hold you responsible for that. But the 51st state, the governor of Canada, that rhetoric has really inhibited Canadians from coming down.
There's concern the White House has crossed the line with these new tariffs that impact an additional $28 billion worth of Canadian exports.
How are you approaching the risk of retaliatory tariffs from Canada?
I talked with my Canadian counterpart yesterday. They did not say they're going to retaliate.
The Trump administration continues to exempt Canadian energy from tariffs. That's also where they're the most vulnerable.
I mean, it's, you know, the truth is, if Canada wanted to, you could shut down our electricity in New England and cripple oil and gas.
Prime Minister Mark Carney has not ruled out retaliation. The government is considering targeted action, especially in Republican states where seats are up for grabs in this year's U.S. midterm elections. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Provincial police say they're investigating a fatal crash near Lucan that claimed the life of a teenager yesterday afternoon. With more from the scene, here's Lauren Stallone.
According to OPP, a 16-year-old dirt bike rider has died following a collision with an SUV in Lucan, Biddulph.
Yesterday afternoon, approximately 4:44, members of the Middlesex County OPP, Middlesex London Paramedic Service, Local Fire, and Air Orange were all dispatched to the Denfield Road, and it was just north of Elginfield Road for the report of a two-vehicle collision involving a sport utility vehicle and a dirt bike.
Police say the dirt bike rider was transported to hospital with life-threatening injuries. The teen was later pronounced dead in hospital. The driver of the SUV was also taken to hospital with injuries that were not considered life-threatening.
This one was a difficult one, obviously, given the age of the deceased individual. It's tough on everybody, right? It's tough on not only family, but first responders and anybody that lives in the area or pass by. So if you do find yourself struggling, reach out, get some help. It is available. And let's all be careful on trying to speculate on what happened until we can find the actual answers.
The investigation remains ongoing. Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
OPP say one person suffered serious injuries this morning when someone driving a pickup truck crashed into their horse and buggy near Lucknow. According to police, it happened around 5:30 a.m. before sunrise. They say the person in the buggy was airlifted to hospital in London and the pickup driver was not hurt. However, the horse did not survive. Police say it took about 5 hours before the roadway reopened. Provincial police are sharing details of their hours-long search effort earlier this week, trying to find a missing toddler. With more on their operation near Listowel and the relief at its conclusion, here's Scott Miller.
It was all hands on deck when the OPP got a 911 call that a 2-year-old boy had wandered away from his Perth County home and was missing.
Immediately, we had a pretty good response. ERT was dispatched, our K9 officers,
Guardian 2, which is our helicopter, and then several drones too.
Shortly after 6 o'clock on Monday night, resources from the OPP, North Perth Fire Department, Perth County EMS, and Huron Area Search and Rescue Team converged on the village of Trowbridge near Listowel. They were searching for a 2-year-old boy who had wandered away from his home and was thought to be lost in a nearby cornfield. Members of the public also offered to help search.
Sometimes that could actually interfere with what we're trying to do, and if we see someone in a field, we may mistake them for the child and have to divert resources to that. So I get everyone's heart was in the right place with wanting to help out, but it was a very organized approach with how we were looking for this child.
Despite all the technology at play and eyes in the sky looking for this missing child, it's ended up being simply boots on the ground, making the discovery.
So one of our ERT members and K9 members, during their search through the cornfield, they came upon him.
That was 2 a.m., alleviating the mounting stress for the boy's family and searchers.
After 8 hours of searching for this child, when we got the radio call that he was located, there was just a huge sense of relief.
The boy was quickly checked over by paramedics and returned to his family, scared but safe.
This is definitely showing how the OPP has a lot of resources available, and thankfully there was a successful outcome with this.
In Trowbridge, Scott Miller, CTV News.
London police say they've laid several charges after a weapons investigation in the West End yesterday. They say the suspect threatened a woman with a knife inside a business near Oxford and Hyde Park Road. According to police, the woman was not hurt, and the man then went inside another store and stole alcohol. A 2-hour standoff then played out, and police say he was eventually arrested and taken to hospital with minor injuries. A local woman living with a disability says construction in her neighborhood has trapped her on a dead-end street, concerned about access to emergency services and getting food. With more on her situation, here's Daryl Newcomb.
Waverley Place is closed in both directions for municipal road work, trapping Linda Smyth's vehicle in the now inaccessible section of the dead-end street.
My biggest concern, EMS would not be able to get to me. You see the scar on the top of my head. I had 3 brain aneurysms and actually made it to emergency surgery.
A construction notice sent by City Hall back on June 23rd reads, access will be maintained to residences and businesses which remain open during construction. But in the appendix, under street access and parking, residents are told street and driveway access off Waverley Place will not be possible for the majority of this reconstruction project. It then directs residents to park on a list of other streets in the neighborhood. Beyond the confusing instructions, Smythe says her limited mobility makes parking on the other streets unrealistic.
If I were to have been able to move my car, it would have had to have been parked blocks away, and I would never have been able to walk that far to get to my car.
With the sidewalk torn up and a hole in the road, getting between Linda's apartment and Colburn Street requires navigating the construction site. Neighbors say they tried to warn city officials before construction began.
When we initially got the letter, my neighbor got it and showed it to me, and it had the project manager's information on it. So I emailed him with my concerns about my own situation, but also Linda.
CTV News spoke with London's Director of Construction and Infrastructure Services, Jenny Dan.
We're working with the contractor to make sure that at least there is a clear footpath through on one side or the other. We've reached out, and all of our emergency services partners are aware, and they have an access plan should that be necessary.
Dan acknowledges the construction notice might have been confusing for some, and there were residents missed on the street.
We're going to make sure that everybody's informed. She's also got our project manager's number, so if she needs anything, just call us and we'll be there to help.
Because food and pharmacy delivery services can't get to her apartment, Smythe is relying on a friend.
He comes and brings me groceries and passes them over the fence here to me.
Dan says the most disruptive construction will conclude in 5 to 6 weeks. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
A large ship ended up grounded this afternoon in the St. Clair River in Sarnia. Two tugboats were churning up the river trying to get the lake freighter moving. Officials say the 225-meter vessel had just left the Cargill grain terminal when it became grounded. A letter from the harbor operator said high winds from a sudden storm may have been a factor. There was no apparent impact for any other shipping traffic in the area, and officials say the freighter was able to continue down the river within a couple hours. Lambton public health officials say the water in Grand Bend is not safe for swimming. They say they've detected high levels of bacteria through regular water testing. Officials say any swimmers should check Lambton Public Health's website before going into the lake. Local conservationists reintroduced an endangered freshwater mussel today at the Thames River watershed, a first-of-its-kind project in Canada. With more from today's event and what's on the horizon for watershed management going forward, here's Brian Bicknell.
Another boy, Lewis? Yeah. A tiny creature, but with a mighty impact to the ecosystem of the Thames River watershed.
This is one of the individuals that was tagged by the hatchery folks over the years.
This is the kidney shell. Some 800 species are being released into the Thames River by way of Medway Creek in North London. The first time in Canada a freshwater mussel has been reintroduced. Considered endangered for more than 2 decades, the reintroduction is to help stabilize the population and restore the watershed.
Freshwater mussels play an important role in aquatic ecosystems. They're almost keystone species, so they're very important for filtering water. They're very important for providing nutrients to other animals like aquatic insects and fishes, and then off into the terrestrial environment as well.
560. It's being reintroduced through a process called artificial propagation. Females were collected from nearby Sydenham River in 2004. Their young raised in captivity since then. Oceans and Fisheries Canada, the Upper Thames River Conservation Authority, and volunteers from various organizations on hand this day to send them off.
It was really amazing, actually, getting to hold them, see how tiny they are, and it's actually been great here with the community today.
It's one of the last events quite like this for the Upper Thames, at least as we know it. It comes at a time when conservation authorities are in the process of amalgamation.
This work is at risk, funding's at risk, and really the benefits to our watershed are at risk.
The outgoing and final chair of the Upper Thames Board pulling no punches at this event for mussels.
We need your voices to make sure this keeps happening. As we get consolidation, that local knowledge and that local initiatives across the watershed, and certainly this type of work may not be considered mandatory by the province. And so the more voices we have at the table and the more knowledge we have of this.
But while local CAs may soon be extinct, the goal on this day is the long-term survival of a species long absent from the watershed.
Stick it into the divot and then it's done.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
The Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation has issued its first payment of the fiscal year to the city. OLG officials say more than $1.4 million has been transferred to city coffers. The payment is for London hosting Cascades Casino at the Western Fair, which recently underwent a major renovation and expansion. Staff at London's Children's Hospital are expanding a program designed to make experiences with needles less stressful for young patients. As Rita Ismail reports, many kids fear them, which can complicate routine procedures like vaccinations.
9-year-old Stella is one of many children living with a fear of needles.
I'm afraid of the unknown. I'm afraid of those sharp objects.
Stella's phobia once made routine vaccinations a challenge, but a new approach at Children's Hospital is changing that.
We wanted to find a way to use pharmacologic and non-pharmacologic approaches, empowering the caregivers, empowering our frontline nurses to comfort children during needle-related procedures.
Children's Hospital has expanded its Comfort Promise program, which combines several strategies to reduce pain and anxiety before, during, and after needle procedures.
Hospital-wide lean quality improvement initiative that uses bundled care, which is an anesthetic on the skin, which we call a topical anesthetic, distraction, which is up to the parent and the child, comfort positioning, and sucrose, which is actually sugar, which is a pain reliever in kids under the age of 12 months.
The program was first introduced for IV insertions, but as of July 1st has expanded to nearly every area of Children's Hospital, regardless of why a child is receiving care. Research shows more than 75% of children experience pain during hospital stays, with needle procedures ranking among the most distressing parts of their care. For Stella and her mother, the experience has transformed what was once a source of fear.
They welcomed her. They knew what she was already nervous about, and they made her feel comfortable instantly. They waited until she said go, and then they gave her the needle. It was the easiest thing I've ever experienced. I cried with relief, and she felt so proud at the end. It was amazing.
Dr. Punai says reducing pain and anxiety during childhood procedures can have lasting benefits, helping children recover better, reducing fear during future medical visits, and lowering the risk of vaccine hesitancy. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
Still to come, catching up with the Browns, Chase and Sydney preparing for their 4th NFL seasons. Before that, sharing the field here at home with the next generation. Canada's main stock index rose more than 100 points today, reaching a record high despite tariff concerns. In New York, the Dow fell 6, the Nasdaq lost 146. The Canadian dollar dropped 0.03 of a cent today. On commodity markets, gold gained more than $75 an ounce. Oil is up almost $2.50 a barrel. New details are now coming to light from the renegotiated agreement over who profits from the Gordie Howe Bridge in Windsor. With more on that and the change in plans for Friday's opening ceremony, here's Mike Lucan.
The long-awaited Gordie Howe Bridge will open to traffic July 27th, and the agreement paving the way for that to happen has finally been made public. It says Canada will share 50% of net bridge and crossing-related revenues with the U.S. for the first 15 years. It also notes net bridge and crossing-related revenues is all revenues collected with respect to the bridge, less all incurred operating costs of the bridge. But that contradicts what Prime Minister Mark Carney told CTV Calgary 10 days ago.
We are sharing after Canada is paid back.
Carney attempted to clarify things a few days later.
Splitting of tolls, any sharing of the toll revenue won't happen until all of the debt is repaid.
The 2012 deal would have seen Canada collect 100% of toll revenues until the country recouped the $6.4 billion in building costs. Carney's shifting message drew criticism from the Conservatives.
It's hard for me to believe that him and his finance minister did not know what they were saying at the time, hoping that scrutiny would erode and that ultimately they'd be able to escape the day.
In a statement to CTV News, a spokesperson for the Prime Minister didn't address the shifting message, but did say we expect net revenue to be low in the early years as traffic ramps up, with the right incentives to get to profitability. The president of the Detroit Regional Chamber also underscored the economic importance of the new span.
It helps accelerate commerce and business opportunities on both sides of the border, particularly for the province of Ontario and the state of Michigan.
Friday's bridge opening event was supposed to include U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and Ambassador Pete Hoekstra. But a senior Canadian government source tells CTV News the event will now be a Canadian-only celebration. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
Good evening. Cool and comfortable temperatures, a bit below normal for this time of year. That northwest wind continues. Perhaps you've opened up the windows. You can leave them open as we head into your Thursday. Lots of sunshine. Thanks so much, Kyle, for this photo of Chloe. If you are heading out for a morning walk, the temperature 11 to 12 degrees. Winds continuing, as I mentioned, out of the northwest. Lots of sunshine as we push toward the weekend, but we could see some light rainfall before the weekend is through. We'll talk timing and we'll take a look at your 7-day planner on the other side of the break.
Welcome back with Julie on the desk, and we are having a bit of an off-air conversation about a day like today in London, because I thought it was a beautiful day, although it was a little cool for you.
It was. I mean, I'm not ready for it to feel like fall.
The mornings did feel crisp, and today especially.
I went out early this morning and I had to wear like a warm sweater, and it was a bit cool for me. So I'm not ready to let go of the summer conditions. Temperatures on the very cool side with that northwest wind. I know many of you enjoying the break from the heat. The forecast, we don't see any extended heat waves. We have some beautiful conditions as we roll through the next 7 degrees, though, below normal. Today's high just making it to 20 degrees and 13 degrees this morning. High pressure building in, that northwest wind on the heels of the cold front that moved through, bringing some thunderstorms to southern Ontario with some heavy downpours. There's still some rain moving through parts of south and central Quebec. High pressure building into the Great Lakes today. The air quality was good, which was gorgeous, but air quality in Western Canada is now become poor, especially in through parts of British Columbia, and you can see the forest fire smoke. It's dissipated right across the entire Great Lakes. We still have some forest fire smoke to the north, but again, the highest concentration now in Western Canada. Overnight in London, temperatures cool and comfortable. Open up the windows if you'd like. We'll dip down to about 10 degrees in London. Mount Forest, KW, single-digit overnight lows at 9 degrees, so some very cool air, and temperatures hovering below normal as we head into tomorrow. We go out 48 hours, not a whole lot to show you. We do have a bit more rainfall moving through northern Ontario, which is excellent news. There's a system off to the south, and that will stay south of us. The next opportunity for us to pick up a bit of measurable rain will come into the area Saturday night. And we have the chance for showers on Sunday. Temperatures are headed up, though, this weekend. Sunshine for tomorrow, 19 degrees by noon and 24 the forecast high. Northwesterly winds hold. Friday, sunshine, and we're back up to 26 degrees. Friday looks like an absolute gorgeous day. Beautiful conditions. I like it to be about 26, 27 degrees. That's perfect for this time of year. On Saturday, a mix of sun and clouds Saturday night, the chance of rain and then some showers on Sunday. The humidity will creep back up this weekend, but definitely still comfortable. In terms of next week, daytime highs from 26 to 27. Expecting a mix of sun and cloud Monday through Wednesday. Probability of showers on the very low end at just 30%. Midwestern Ontario, it will be cool once again tomorrow near Lake Huron, so those beach communities. Northwest winds blowing off Lake Huron will keep things a bit chillier. Inland, expect lots of sunshine to a mix of sun and cloud in 22 degrees. Just a little bit of off-lake cloud around. 25 as we head into your Friday with full sunshine. Mix of sun and cloud on a Saturday, and then the chance for rain Saturday night. This is a cold front coming in for Sunday with a chance of showers, not an all-day rain, and then back into a mix of sun and cloud Monday through Wednesday. Daytime highs from 25 to 26. We'll average right where we should be for this time of year to a bit below normal. So daytime highs nice and comfortable, and lower humidity over the next 7 than we've seen pretty much most of the summer season. I'll send things back to you.
Thanks very much, Julie. Recent data from Stats Canada suggests the country's crime severity index is heading in a positive direction. With more on the takeaways and why they don't always line up with public perception, here's Adrian Gabriel.
A visceral reaction to violent videos.
People are not feeling safe. A lot of people are nervous.
While some may feel that crime is increasing across the country, the latest report from Statistics Canada shares that the non-violent crime severity index nationwide decreased more than 5% in 2025, and violent crime across Canada dropped a little more than 4%.
That's the second decrease after several years of increase.
The crime severity index is relative to the population and the severity of the police-reported incident. Since 2015, the national rate has increased. That changed in 2024.
Almost every province and territory saw a decrease, with the exception of New Brunswick and Nunavut.
Though scenes like this, caught on camera and shared widely, has many Canadians feeling vulnerable.
The numbers are what the numbers are, but I think it's what people feel inside that gives them comfort or gives them concern.
People feel unsafe. Former Toronto Police homicide detective Mark Mendelson believes that the proliferation of violent incidents shared on social media is in part skewing public perception.
Things like Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, people view that and they make their assessments based on what they're seeing on social media.
The former Toronto police officer also believes that the national per capita data doesn't always give a clear picture of what's taking place in a specific city or community.
We've seen the equal number of murders that take place in Nunavut over the course of 36 hours in Toronto.
One crime that did increase in 2025, shoplifting under $5,000, spiked 11%.
We see marauding people going into liquor stores with the hockey bags and just loading up and walking out the door.
While most categories are decreasing, Statistics Canada says a 2-year dip is still too small of a sample size to proclaim that crime is going down across the country. StatsCan analysts tell us that they'll need to see 5 consecutive years of crime stats going down before they can confidently say that the country is heading in a sustained, safer direction. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
Welcome back. Finally tonight, NFL training camps are getting underway, but before those really ramp up, 2 local NFL players were back home recently supporting football camps here in London. With more on Chase and Sydney Brown's offseason, here's Brent Lale.
All right, we got to create a wall. Everybody create a wall on him. He's going to get the ball. You guys kind of block him.
Sydney Brown of the Atlanta Falcons gives some instructions to youth football players at a camp in his hometown.
It's always great to get back in the community and just see the younger generation develop and just kind of be around them and kind of see where the football direction is going in London.
Sydney and his twin brother Chase are both entering the final year of their rookie contracts in the NFL. Sydney is now in Atlanta after a draft day trade, while Chase is the lead running back for the Bengals.
I'm living my dream, man, so I have no complaints.
Chase is coming off his first 1,000-yard rushing season and is a dual-threat weapon in a powerful offense. He has 12 career touchdowns over 45 games.
I've been blessed by opportunity and to be in a really good position, so I look forward to continue to, looking back on what I did last year, learning from it, and being a better player this year.
The two have been working out in Atlanta for the past 3 years and have been locked in for training camp, which begins next week.
I'm going to miss every part of Philly, but I think it just opens up a new opportunity for myself, and I'm just kind of embracing it and going with the punches each day.
Training in Atlanta has helped Sydney get acclimated to the culture of his new team. He'll be battling with a talented safety group for a spot in the defensive backfield.
It's for them to figure out and me to just perform at. So, I fully expect to go in there and start and do exactly what I want to do. And I'm just in there trying to get to know the guys, understand the locker room, understand the culture, and I'll just be a great teammate.
Back in London for a pair of camps this summer, the Brown twins were feeling the energy from the kids.
I think it's cool as 2 London athletes that were in those kids' same shoes. It's cool to kind of be the role model at this point and just be here, kind of see and show face.
Brent Lale, CTV News.
And that's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.